Do you think that it's almost impossible to save money with what you have now? It's much easier to save money when you make a lot, but it's still possible to save money even if you don't have much. In this video, I'll give you 7 tricks to save money fast, even on a low income. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and that little notification bell icon so that you don't miss out on any of our video updates. Plus, it helps us spread the Thrive Wise love to help more people thrive wisely. Now, let's begin. Trick number 1. Cut down on your housing costs. Many financial experts say that your rent or mortgage payment plus your bills should not take up more than 35% of your monthly incomes after taxes. But here's the harsh truth. Whether you rent or own, your biggest expense will be the cost of your home. Now, this expense may take up a lot of your monthly income, but it also gives you the best chance to find ways to save money. This means you can save more money even if you're earning less. Let's classify the solution depending on the two, the renters and the homeowners. There are many ways for renters to cut their housing costs. The first is to find a cheaper place to live. Instead of renting a 2-bedroom apartment, you might be able to get by with just one room in someone else's house. But if you don't want to move, you might want to look into other ways to lower your rent. Effective strategies include negotiating a trade of services like doing renovations in exchange for a lower rent, or agreeing to sign a longer lease if the landlord really wants more security for the tenant. You can ask these questions. What else could your landlord want besides for you to pay more rent? If you don't have any pets, you could offer to not let anyone else bring one in exchange for lower rent payments. If you don't have a car and the rental unit comes with a parking spot, you could offer to give up the parking spot in exchange for a lower rent. And if you own your own house, the advice is a little different. You probably don't want to move out to save money, and small things like turning off the lights and using less water can add up to big savings over time. However, the best way to offset your housing costs is to rent out a room. Renting out a room can easily bring in a few $100s a month, which can help you pay your bills and save up for more money. Trick number 2. Say no to debt. If you have a smaller income than you'd like but still want to save money, you must avoid debt at all costs. This is because debt makes it hard for you to save in 2 different ways. First of all, having debt means making payments every month. People who you owe money to will come to your door to collect debt money, and you wouldn't like that if you're in the mindset of saving up. Second, you almost always have to pay interest on debt every month. Rates of lines of credit are usually between 3 to 5%, which means if you have a $10,000 balance, you would pay between $25 and $40 a month in interest. Well, this doesn't seem like much money, but if you do this every month, it can start to add up. So when you add up all of your payments and the extra interest on top of that, you can start to see how having debt can make it hard to save money on a low income. When it comes to credit card debt, this problem gets even worse. According to creditcards.com, the average interest rate on credit cards as of 2022 is 17.65%, meaning that it costs a lot of money to get into debt. And if you have the average credit card balance of an adult in the US, which is $6,348, you're paying credit card companies about $1,120 plus interest. So think about it. If you have a low income and you want to save money, you should avoid debt and interest charges that come with it at all costs. Trick number 3. Reduce entertainment costs. Unfortunately, having pleasure often comes at a steep price for many individuals. Eating out, visiting a bar after work, going to the movies, and other forms of entertainment may put a significant hold on your budget. My primary form of entertainment when I was younger was going to the club with my buddies. Most nights, it cost me about $100 to get to and from the bar, buy drinks, and pay for cover. As I got older, I became more geared towards becoming financially mature. But at the same time, I didn't want to miss out on time with my friends, and I didn't want to be alone. This made me think of ways how I could spend quality time with my friends without going broke. One of my favorite alternatives is going on park walks with my friends. I've also thought of having dinner parties at home instead of going to a restaurant, and watching a movie on Netflix instead of buying tickets to a theater. In short, we all need to have fun, but we don't need to go broke while doing it. Trick number 4. Evaluate your wants versus your needs. There's no denying that spending money makes us happy, but if you're on a tight budget and trying to save, you need to learn to prioritize. Basically, a need is something that you have to have in order to live a life that is at least somewhat comfortable. For example, you need a roof over your head, but it doesn't have to be a roof of a mansion for you to be comfortable. You also have to eat, but that doesn't mean that you have to eat fancy expensive food. Needs are basically equivalent to the basics. Then there are wants, which are more of like a luxury. Wants are non-essentials and expenses you can avoid. You might want to buy more expensive clothes or a brand new luxury car, but all you really need are clothes that fit and a way to get around. Your desire to want may change over time. What you think you want today may not be what you want next week. When evaluating your needs versus your wants, you may want to ask yourself this question. Is this purchase something that will only make me happy right now, or will it serve its purpose in 2 years? By now, as you assess your spending and earning habits, you may have learned a few tips on how to save more money even on a low income. What's your favorite tip so far? Comment it down below because we'd love to hear what you think about all of this as we all try to help each other out. And going back, trick number 5, spend wisely on food. The average amount of money a family spends on groceries each month is thought to be close to $1,000, making it one of the bigger expenses we usually have to pay. But it's not impossible that you could cut that number in half with a little planning and a few tips I'm about to give you. Tip number 1, planning your meals ahead of time. This will not only be good for your health, but it will also make sure that you only buy what you really need. Whether you realize it or not, a lot of food is wasted on a day-by-day basis. According to a study published on Science Daily in 2018, Americans throw away an average of 1 pound of food every day, which, if you avoid them, can save you a lot of money on groceries. Planning ahead will help you avoid waste and let you buy foods that are on sale, which means that your typical $250 a week grocery bill can easily drop to $200 or less, giving you more money at the end of the month. Number 2, eat less meat. Meat is by far the most expensive thing you can buy at the store, so it's easy to cut back on it if you want to save money. Now, I'm not saying that you have to give up meat to save money, but if you eat less meat or substitute cheaper food options like beans or legumes, you will be able to cut your grocery bill by a lot. And number 3, only bring cash when going grocery shopping. Too often, people go to the grocery store when they are hungry and want to fill up their shopping carts. This is made easier by the fact that people can seamlessly spend on credit. Instead, plan your purchases ahead of time and only bring enough cash for the things you need. And lastly, do your shopping after eating a hearty meal so that your thoughts aren't muddled by the sight of food. Trick number 6, use zero-sum budgeting. The zero-based budgeting method tells you to spend all of your income each month, but that doesn't mean you should go on a shopping spree. Zero-based budgeting is a way for you to plan your money by putting all of it towards expenses, savings, and paying off debt. The goal is to have no money left over the end of each month when you subtract your income from what you've spent. So if you earn $3,000 a month, everything you give, save, or spend should add up to $3,000. Every dollar that comes in has a job, a goal, and a reason for being there. There is nothing left to hide or waste money on fancy coffees or $1 bin deals. This does not mean that you have no money in your bank account. It just means that your income minus everything you spend equals zero. The zero-based budgeting shows how much money comes in and how much goes out. This can help you not spend money you don't have. And finally, trick number 7, automate your savings. One last thing you can do to guarantee that you save money despite having limited salary is to set up an automatic savings account. Personally, setting up payroll deductions with my work was one of the finest decisions I had made in terms of my own money. The sum total of these deductions was to divert a portion of my income from my checking account and deposit it into a savings account. When I first established this routine, I put aside 10% of my net pay after taxes. But I've increased my savings rate to roughly 20 to 25% and have doubled my monthly contributions as a result. To my mind, there are two main reasons why this method of conserving money has been so effective. Initially, I was able to choose an accurate goal for my savings. In reality, doing this is like hitting two birds with one stone. Aside from utilizing automatic deductions, you are also setting your deduction to the amount you've specified as monthly savings in your zero-sum budget. And secondly, not having to worry about putting money aside freed my thoughts to concentrate on other more pressing matters, such as honing my abilities to increase my income. In my experience, the best approach to increase your savings after you've established a reliable method is to increase your income. I found that clearing some mental space allowed me to take on some more freelance work, which allowed me to make more money and increase my savings. And yes, there you have it. We know that by now you have already learned new ideas on how to save money even on a low income. If you enjoyed this video, then you will probably learn a lot more from watching this video, 7 Little Money Passive Income Ideas. If you click on the screen right now, you can go and watch that. Do you want to learn more on how to thrive wisely? What videos would you want to watch next? Feel free to comment down below. And please don't forget to click the subscribe button to see more videos on how to thrive wisely. Till next time.